Good morning, dear students. Today we have computer mid-semester exam. We are having first 4 chapters. That 4 chapters are there for computer exam. So let us revise that chapters today. In your textbook, the first page discusses about the computer language. Computer language is divided into two: low-level language and high-level language. And the low-level language means that is the machine language. The low-level language is also divided into two: machine language and assembly language. We know that machine language means it's a zeros and ones, and then assembly language means that some mnemonic codes it is using. Next, high-level language. It is the machine-independent language. The instructions written in English words or phrases, and it is easier to understand and develop the program logic. High-level language is also divided into two: procedure-oriented programming language and object-oriented programming language. Procedure-oriented programming language. In a procedure-oriented programming language, the main program divided into sub-program called functions. Importance given to functions. Data flow freely from one function to another, and it follow top-down approach. Next, object-oriented programming. In object-oriented programming, the main program is divided into building blocks called objects, and these objects contains data and functions. In object-oriented, importance is given to data rather than functions. It does not allow a data flow freely from one function to another. It allows bottom-up approach. It follows the bottom-up program approach. These are the features and difference between object-oriented programming and procedure-oriented programming. This is very important. Features and difference between procedure-oriented and object-oriented. Next portion is object and class. An object is a real-world entity. It represents a place, a bank account, a person, etc. All the objects contain some characteristics and behavior. In software object, characteristics is called data values or data, and behavior is known as member functions or functions. Then class. A class is a collection of objects that share common characteristics and common behavior. It is the blueprint of an object. Object is the product of class. Hence, class is also called object factory. That's important. Why class is called object factory? Since class is object is the product of class. Hence, class is also called object factory. Next topic is object-oriented programming principle. It is very important topic. Object-oriented programming principles. There are 4 different object-oriented programming principles are there in this year: data abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. Data abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. Data abstraction, it refers to the act of representing essential features without including the background details or explanation. And it helps the clear separation between the abstract properties and the details. A switchboard is an example in real world for data abstraction. Next one is encapsulation. It is the system of wrapping up of data and functions into a single unit. Note this: data and functions into a single unit is known as encapsulation. The single unit is known as class. See, wrapping up of data and function into a single unit. The encapsulation restricts the free flow of data from one object to another. Next one is inheritance. It is the capability of a class acquire some properties from another class. The class whose property is acquired is called base class. The class in which the property of the base class is acquired is called derived class. That inheritance support the reusability property. That's very important. The inheritance supporting the reusability property. Next, polymorphism. The ability to take more than one form is called polymorphism. Ability to take more than one form is called polymorphism. The polymorphism supporting of function overloading. The polymorphism supporting function overloading property. Only this much in the first chapter, only theory portions. You can read the textbook and notebook neatly and then study well. Next we can move to the second chapter.